Hello, good afternoon, parents. My name is Dr. Shashikant Gupta. I am a pediatrician working in Media Hospital, Abu Dhabi. I'm here today to talk about a very important topic in current scenario, which is the fitness in children after the COVID-19 impact. Now, I'll be looking more into a kind of fitness which is also called psychosocial health of the children. So let's start what we will learn today. So our objectives today in this small presentation will be, first I'll discuss what is exactly health defined as in children. Second will be the psychosocial well-being of the child. Then we'll move on to the COVID-19 and its impact on the well-being of children. Then I'll tell you, I will suggest you what you can do in current scenario to support your child. Then we'll be discussing about the secret of happiness. How can you make the child happy? And it will be a very important topic for you as well as parents. And lastly, I'll give you certain practical ideas which you can employ in the current scenario to keep your child healthy and calm. Now, what is health? Now, WHO has defined health as it is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So WHO has acknowledged that there is not merely physical health, there is a mental and social health as well, and we have to look into it. When we come to children, there's another dimension, and we call it 4 dimensions of health in a child. A healthy child should have a balance of all these 4 dimensions. First is physical, as you all know and you are aware about it. I won't be going into the detail of this dimension. My colleague Dr. Gopika Prasad will talk about this further. I'll be talking about the rest 3 dimensions, which are emotional, cognitive, and social. These 3 dimensions are together called as psychosocial aspect of the health, psychosocial well-being of the child. So what exactly is psychosocial health of a child? In a nutshell, we can call it as how a child thinks, how a child acts, and how a child feels. This is the psychosocial health in some way. So there is a mental health in child, we can call it a cognitive health, which is nothing but the ability to learn from the environment, from learning skills, so learning abilities. The emotional health is the ability to manage and express the emotions in a age-appropriate manner. And then there is social health. Social health is ability to interact with others in a positive manner. So this is, in summary, psychosocial health of a child, and which is really an important topic to discuss about. Now, just to give you a context of the psychosocial health problems in children, if you look at the slide, if you read it, 1/5 of primary care encounters with children are for a behavioral or mental health problem, or sickness visits complicated by a mental health issue. Another line says anxiety disorders are the most common psychiatric disorders of childhood. So with this knowledge in the background, I'll talk you about a very important topic, which is the emotional needs of children. Now, if you study this slide, it illustrates Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Abraham Maslow was a psychologist, and in 1943 something, he gave an important theory. If you look at closely the slide, now there are hierarchy, there are levels of needs of a man, of an adult, and also of a child. So first level should be satisfied, then we move on to the next level, then to the next, then to the next. So the first and basic level is the physiological level, and which is nothing but sleep, body, mind, eating, and all this. Now, after that, there are emotional needs. The adults must meet these needs for each child. And out of the emotional needs, these three needs are the most important. And on these three needs, we are basing our whole presentation. If you look closely, the first is the safety. The child needs safe and secure environment, safe base, somewhere I can go to recharge and be myself. I feel protected. Someone will come to my rescue if I need it. Then comes the love and belonging. They need to be loved even if they make mistakes. Belonging, they need to be a part of a family, involvement in a family. Then comes the esteem. Esteem is thinking of a child like I'm of value, I can do certain things, I can contribute. And esteem also means the respect from others. So from parent side, you can give a little bit of respect. You can say please and thank you even to a child. It will be good. So based on this knowledge, this emotional needs of a child, which ultimately translates into social health as well, we'll proceed forward and see what how the COVID-19 has impacted children in current scenario. COVID-19, if you look at this diagram, it's an illustration of just few difficulties of a child. Now, the difficulties of a child is more problematic than difficulties of adults because as adults, we know certain things. We have the capability to think, but children they are still developing. Their thinking has not evolved yet. They are still in the development phase. So COVID-19, because of COVID-19, there are many restrictions. There is lockdown, which has led to school closures, limited access to play areas, and social restrictions. School closures will lead to decreased interaction with peers, lead to online education, and lead to overexposure to social media news. Now, the interaction with peers had decreased, leads to stress, frustration, anxiety. Online education, again, there is eye strain, stress. Social media news leads to stress, anxiety, confusion. Then there is issue of cyber safety as well when the children are online. Now, limited access to play areas, there is boredom, frustration in children, physical activity is reduced, so physical and mental well-being is affected. To give you a context, the physical activity of a child is also related to his mental health, to his psychosocial health. Now, social restrictions are there. You cannot meet such persons. So again, there is frustration and anxiety in the child. These are the effects, indirect effects only. The COVID-19 leads to direct effects also, which is the physical health of own and the loved ones. Children are terrified. Sometimes they are worried and they cannot express their worry. What will happen to the parents? What if I catch COVID-19? What if my mother catches COVID-19? So these again leads to fear, anxiety, stress. So there was a study done in China and it was published in the Journal of Pediatrics in June 2020. We studied the behavior and emotional disorders in children during COVID-19 epidemic. Now this study has outlined the number of symptoms which children have shown after the COVID-19. And the study population was from 3 years to 18 years. Now we will read one by one. The most common was the child is being clingy. The child is always with the parents. He doesn't want to be left alone. Then there is inattention, irritability, worry, obsessive request of updates, news. The child wants to know what is happening again and again. He asks number of questions and oftentimes repetitive. Fear of the health of relatives or knowns, sleeping disorders, poor appetite, fatigue, nightmares, discomfort, and agitation. So these are the common symptoms they found under the study group. Now, parents are concerned and confused in this situation. Sometimes they don't know how to communicate with children. Parents themselves are also stressed. This COVID-19 is a new situation for them also. And on top of it, the problem is children try to copy the adults' behavior. So the way the adults are responding to the stress, children copy that. So as a parents, you have a valid question what to do in that certain scenario. I would say support your child. Support your child. I would say there are 5 steps to support your child under current scenario. Listen, understand, help, recognize, talk. I would say again, like listen to your child patiently. If he's coming to you again and again asking the same questions, listen to the child, give him an ear, be patient. What might be unimportant for you as a parent, as a grown up, might be very, very important for your child. So listen to them. And of course, encourage them to ask more questions. Second is understand. Child may express the psychological distress by acting out in a different way. And very important thing to note is every child behaves differently to the same situation. In my recent clinical experience also, parents have come that the child is acting out, child is behaving differently. So that may be because of the underlying psychological distress. The child is feeling anxious. He doesn't know how to express it. He is not mentally developed for that yet. So you have to understand as a grown-up adult. So again, I'll show you that same slide to make you understand what the symptoms might be a child can present during this COVID-19 situation, which can lead, which can be an indicator for the underlying stress and anxiety. Now, third step would be, I would say, help the child. How? Help. Listen to his or her, whatever the concerns are. Then comfort the child, and then reassure. Like, I don't think I need to explain it further. This is very pretty simple. Listen to the child, comfort her however you can in a safe environment, and reassure. Keep reassuring. Doesn't matter how many times, but keep reassuring the child. The child is trusting the words of the parents. So you, whatever you say, it will have more impact than any other person. Now, this is a very, very important slide. I want you all to note down this. Recognize the red flag signs. Recognize these red flag signs. When you notice any of these, please visit a doctor. Please take a medical help. And these can be there. And if these symptoms are persistent, definitely go for a doctor's opinion. Now, these would be difficulties in sleeping and eating, nightmares, being withdrawn or aggressive, complain of pain in stomach or headache without any physical reason. I would say this is the commonest complaint I have seen so far in my clinic. Parents are coming with children saying abdominal pain is there, recurrent abdominal pain. The child is complaining, but I see nothing on the examination and doing all lab tests, nothing comes out. So this could be an indicator for the underlying stress and needs to be recognized and dealt with. Having fears, being afraid to be left alone, clinging, depending behaviors, new fears manifest. For instance, of the dark, the child was not fearful of the particular situation, and now he is fearful. Decreased interest in playing and engaging in playful activities. Being sad, crying more than usual or for no apparent reason. So these are the red flag signs which you should note down. Now, the last step would be talk. What you should be talking about is you should be open and talk about COVID-19 to children. Talk about COVID-19 and its effect. It's better to come out from you rather than coming from other sources, which might be fake also, like news and all that. So talk about COVID-19 affects social distancing, hand hygiene in an age-appropriate manner. You cannot explain in detail to a toddler, but when adolescent child asks, a teenager child asks, you have to give out some details. So in a way, they can understand through drawings and pictures, especially the young children. You can explain them what's going on through pictures. You can surf the net and find out good pictures explaining the ways. And one more thing which needs to be talked about and definitely needs to be addressed is the rumors related to COVID-19. The rumors, you should tell them that these are the rumors, these are not facts. So coming to the next part of the presentation is the secret for happiness. And I'm sure this will help both the adults and the children in feeling happy during current scenario. Now, if we look, there are, when we go into the physiology of human brain, how we feel is determined by two sets of hormones. The hormones, the chemicals which are released in our system, there are two sets. One is the happy hormones and other is the stress hormones. When we are stressed, we have a lot of stress hormones. When we feel good and nice, we have a surge of feel good hormones or happy hormones. Now the happy hormones, main happy hormones are dopamine, oxytocin, endorphin, serotonin. So I will tell you the context. These are the hormones and the activities I will tell you which will increase the surge of these happy hormones. A very interesting topic. Huh? So like hormone first is the dopamine, which is a reward hormone. When you reward a child, praise a child for his activity. He has done homework. He has finished his homework. He has finished a task. He has done with his beddings and all this. So praise him. It will give a dopamine surge, and he will feel happy. And what will be the effect? The next time he will be motivated to do the same thing. There will be a good effect on him. So you can give him a reward on doing a good thing. The other hormone is like serotonin, which is the natural antidepressant in our system. It is also called the mood stabilizer. Through balanced, healthy diet and regular exercise, we can cause this hormone to surge in our system. And in further, this hormone will help stabilizing our mood, promotes the learning in children, which is very important, and promotes digestion and sleep also. When children are not sleeping properly, they are not eating properly, their appetite is decreased. That means they have a lack of serotonin in their system. Now, third hormones are very important. Endorphins, they are natural pain relievers and feel-good hormones. It relieves stress and body pain immediately. So, what are the activities which lead to surge of these hormones? Are play, exercise, laughing aloud. Just laugh aloud with your child without any reason. There will be surge of good hormones. You will feel good yourself and their child also. Play with your child. Do take out 20-30 minutes in a day and play with your child. Or if your child is an older child, adolescent, do a workout together, do an exercise together. These all will release the endorphins and it will lead to your bonding as a child and parent also. So oxytocin, which is the love hormone, it promotes the parent-child bonding. What activities? You can see skin-to-skin contact, hugs, kisses, cuddling. When the child needs to be hugged, that means he is low on oxytocin. So do these activities often, giving reward, praising a child, balanced diet, regular exercise, play, laughing aloud, kisses, hugs, cuddling, and you will see that there will be a dramatic effect within a week following all this. Your child's mood will be stabilized, he will become less irritable. Now, with the knowledge of all this, I'll give you certain practical ideas which you can follow. This will involve all these activities which I've told you, and it will lead to the surge of good hormones. First will be like quality parenting time. I would suggest at least 20-30 minutes daily, take out some time. from your busy schedule, and preferably at the same time of the day. Switch off all the screens and simply ask toddlers or adolescents or young children whatever they want to do. So, like example, I have written for toddlers, you can play with blocks in an indoor games, read a story book, sing a song, music, dance. For young children, you can help in social work. You can help in about what they like in their life, what they are, what they want to do, what they don't want to do. Just talk with them for 20-30 minutes. Along with you in the so it's a for a week, for a few days or a week, just watch how and praise them for something they have done well. And teenagers, as I told you, listen to their needs. That will be more than enough for them. Third would be make hygiene measures fun. The toddlers and the young children, especially, they are very impatient. So when we ask them to wash their hands for 20 seconds together, sometimes they are so impatient they can't do it. So ask them to sing a rhyme for 20 seconds while washing hands. Give rewards and praise for regular hand wash. Face and nose touches. Count the number of face and nose touches in a day and give rewards for the least touches. You are their role model. So whatever you practice, they will follow. Practice social distancing and hygiene yourself, and they are bound to follow. And we can make them understand via easy pictures. An example like this. Now, this is, I think, is a very powerful idea. Power of a routine. Now, in the current scenario, when schools are closed, uh, activities are less, chance to go out is less. So whatever the routine was there, it has been completely disturbed for the child. So I would say develop a routine, whatever you can do in your hand. In fact, this is the only thing which we can do, which is in our control. We can make a routine in our house so that children are also eager and looking forward to every day, looking forward to that activity if it's following the same schedule. For example, include these activities and make regular exercise and play time in a day, regular meals time, regular time for school work, and there should be a time which may or may not be possible for all, a creative time for painting, dance, art. Involve them in a household chore as simple as cleaning your desk, cleaning your room, etc. So a time for helping out the mothers at home. Then there should be a time for rest and relaxation. Uh, we can include meditation in our routine, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It will help a lot, both children and adults. And then there should be, this is important, there should be a fixed time for watching screens, for media, for videos, for internet. Except from the school work, there should be a fixed timing that, okay, you can watch television today, this thing. Now, these regular, when you inculcate these regular activities in a child's schedule, you will watch that your schedule will also be better along with the child. So it has a win-win situation for the child also and for the parents also. Now, this I will just add one more thing which you can do. I think it has been repeated already, but in a few more details. Like there are many questions in coming to a child's mind in the current scenario. Like what is a virus? What does dead mean? Why can't I go out? Why to wash hands again and again? Why is my school closed? What to do? Blah blah blah. So these are the questions which you need to answer in a very open and honest manner. If you don't know, just tell them, I don't know at this time, but we'll look into it. Child may ask the same questions tomorrow again. So answer them again. No problem. So just when you answer the child's question, you are in a way reassuring him. So I would say and answer them in a very easy to understand language. Again, if a toddler is asking what is a coronavirus, you will make him understand in a very simple manner through pictures and cards. But if an adolescent teenager is asking, he will be asking more details. So you can explain them. At the end of my this presentation, there's more challenges which is coming up is the exposure to the online world. The child is with the online education exposed to more cyber safety concerns now. So for that, I would like to offer a stay safe online routine, which you may follow. 5 golden rules to stay safe online. It's okay to block someone if you are not comfortable communicating with. Do not accept friend requests from strangers. If email looks suspicious, delete it. Let the parents handle it. Passwords should not be shared and log out while using a public computer. So these are the main things. I will not be going into this online safety topic because it needs another presentation, maybe another time. So as Abraham
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dr. Gopika Prasad, pediatric specialist working in Adelaide Hospital, Abu Dhabi. As you know, the topic for today's discussion is about fitness in children after COVID-19. I'll be covering mainly about the physical fitness in COVID-19. I'll be speaking to you about the importance of physical activity, diet, and sleep hygiene during this pandemic. World is now facing an unprecedented time due to COVID-19 pandemic. World over stay-at-home policies and social distancing measures are in place. There is no doubt that this is indeed the need of the hour. But we should also remember that these policies have led to a lot of restrictions in the normal routine of children. Children are spending almost all of their time indoors. And this has led to a lot of physical inactivity and sitting at home in front of the screens. What would have been a normal routine in the playground or in the parks has been replaced by a virtual world right now. Physical inactivity in children puts unnecessary risks for the future. Even though social distancing measures are the need for the children right now, their bodies and minds still require the normal required amount of physical activity for a normal child. This impact of physical inactivity may be seen in their health, social care, and mental well-being. During COVID-19 pandemic, it is even more important for all the people, not only children, adults also, to be physically active at home. Okay, I'm talking about physical activity. What is physical activity? Does it mean only exercise? Of course not. Exercise is a form of physical activity which is repetitive and performed with the goal of improving fitness or health. Whereas physical activity is just a bodily movement which includes the contraction of the muscle and expenditure of energy. It need not be exercise. Exercise is physical activity, but not all physical activity is exercise. Physical activity can be in the form of aerobic fitness. Aerobic fitness can be just running or dancing or hopping or skipping. It can be in the form of strength and balance exercise, like bone strengthening exercise. Even playing hopscotch or skipping will be strengthening for the bone. It can be muscle strengthening exercise in the form of taking push-ups or playing tug of war. Why do I have to speak so much about physical activity? Physical activities has a lot of role in the overall health of the children. It supports the healthy growth and development of children. It helps in the development of fundamental movement skills which are required for the child development. Have high blood lipid levels, high blood sugar levels, or insulin resistance, which can lead on to the other comorbidities like heart disease or high blood pressure in a very young age. It is also important for your mental health to be physically active, and it is important for a good sleep also. Physical activity brings a cortisol levels in balance. We are all going through a period of stress. prolonged restrictions, but it is very important that we take care that from now on we put an end to this physical inactivity and stay more active. There are some recommendations regarding the duration of physical activity required in children. Starting from the very young age of less than 1 year, they should be physically active several times a day. Those who are not yet mobile, they should spend at least 30 minutes of tummy time in a day. They can be floor-based play for them, just moving their limbs and neck and head, and this can be spread throughout different times of the day. Children under 5 years of age, they should ideally be spending 180 minutes, that is 3 hours in a day, in physical activities of various intensity, of which 60 minutes, 1 hour, should be spent in moderate to vigorous intensity physical activity. Okay, children up to 5 years, they are not very much into a structured exercise. They require a lot of variety and interesting activities. So parents can be more creative and make this physical activity in the form of games. Games with some goals which are difficult to attain and some challenges in front of them. So that when they get the reward, they feel happy and they want to do it more. For example, it can be in the form of just plays like animal walks, crawl like a bear, slither like a snake, jump like a kangaroo. All this can keep them more interested, and this will also at the same time make the children do a lot of skipping and hopping activities. Keeping the balloon up in the air, they're doing volleying activities with their hands, digging for class. A lot of you can browse through them and get some ideas. These are some WHO flyers for people intended to just boost their minds regarding the importance of physical activity. You can just make your children dance to music. Try to keep them active by just playing active video games or try skipping rope exercises, walking up and down the stairs. All this can be used as more physical activity at home. If you're sitting in front of the screen for a long time, regularly check your sitting position and break up your sitting every 20 minutes and walk around for 3 or 4 minutes. Physical activity also means visual health. Now children are spending a lot of time in front of the screens, not only for classes but also for recreational use. So as parents, we should put a limit to this recreational screen time, especially in the evening, because the 2020 rule, that is at least every 20 minutes, the child should take a break and look outside at a 20 feet distance for a duration of around 20 seconds. The distance between the screen and the student should be at least 20 to 30 inches. The screen resolution and screen contrast of the computer can be increased, and the lighting of the room can be reduced. And the position of the child should be in an ergonomic position with the feet on the floor, the shoulders relaxed, and the back supported. How about after COVID-19? Children will be going out, they will be going to aerobic studios or the classes for sports practice. Carry your own towel, bottles, and mats. And you should practice regularly sanitizing your hands, After using common equipment, try to use your own yoga mats and blocks and minimize the use of common washrooms and showers. Now I'll come to the second topic, that is about diet and COVID-19. Nutrition, as such, is not a cure for COVID-19, but we should take at least five servings of fruits and vegetables per day, and we should take plenty of whole grain cereals. Whole grain cereals, the importance is that the outer coverings will contain the vitamins, minerals, and fibers which of washing the fruits and vegetables and disinfect packages from our. It's very important to prepare the bedtime routine important for a good sleep. For children in the age group of 6 to 13 years, at least 10 to 11 hours of good sleep is required, and for teenagers, 8.5 to 9.5 hours of sleep is required per day. These are the resources from where I got the materials, and thank you all, and hope you all stay healthy during and after the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you.
Hello again. I have got these few questions in the Q&A session. First question is, will children's immunity also improve if we take care of their emotional health? Yes, in fact, if you remember the slide which I have shown relating to the happy hormones and the stress hormones. Now, when children are under a stress, they release stress hormones, and that in a way decreases immunity. And the happy hormones, as we discussed, they increase the immunity of the child. So yes, in a way, if you keep them happy emotionally, their immunity will also be better. And in fact, that stands true for adults also. Second question is, what can we do when child is irritable? So when a child is irritable, as I told you, what you can do is provide him a comfortable environment. Don't yell, don't shout, and make him calm as much as possible. You have to look out what is the cause of irritability. A child may be irritable because of a number of reasons, as I told you. And irritability is one of the indicator telling you that child is under a stress. He is emotionally disturbed. So whatever the reason the current COVID-19 situation is causing, like he is not able to play out, he is not able to go out, just ask him in a very friendly manner, uh, what is we can do as parent for you. Um uh, what I have to do in my home. Okay. This is asked by Nafina A. Sorry, I'm not getting the full name here in the system, but nice to see you. So, what you can do in my home, what you can do in your house is the number of activities which I just told you. Uh, that will include activities, playing with children. Depends on the age of the children. You can play whether an indoor game, or if they're like toddlers, you can just clear the furniture from this area and let them jump and play. That will be enough to make the good hormones surge inside. And if they are older children, teenagers, you can make a workout with them, not an issue, or involve them in a creative activity. So these are the number of things which I just discussed in my end part of the presentation also. Uh, so making a powerful routine is one of it. Making a routine. When health is concerned, making hygiene measures adaptable to them, creating a positive environment at home. So there are many things which you can do as a parent. If you look closely at the end part of my presentation, it is uh, focusing on that only, practical ideas, quality parenting time. So the next question is, will exercise also make child happy? Yes, it is a known scientific discovery now in physiology. We read that doing exercise at least 20 to 30 minutes in a child, doing a strenuous exercise, not a normal exercise, doing strenuous activity, which will lead to a surge of happy hormones. In fact, the American Academy of Pediatrics has also recommended for kids 30 minutes of strenuous activity daily and 1 hour of unsupervised general play. This is the basic, the minimum which a child needs for a healthy growth. Then there's a question, how is emotional need different from a social need in a child? Okay, good question. So emotional health means the ability to express the emotions. That is emotional. And social need is the ability to connect with others. In fact, both are interrelated. If
one is affected, the other one will be affected for sure. So both are connected, and there's a little difference between these two. Any other question? Okay, thank you very much for the question and answers. Nice to see you all. Thank you very much.